best companies to work for in the South, and in 2023 by Forbes as one of the world's best banks. The Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens was named the best tournament on the PGA Tour Champions by the golfers themselves. It's very rare that a first-year tournament wins an award from the players like the Simmons Bank Championship did. George Macris and his strong team at Simmons Bank can help you grow. Give them a shot and tell them Baz sent you. You can find all of their locations on the web at SimmonsBank.com. With more than $27 billion in total assets, Simmons Bank continues to grow. Join me and many others that make Simmons Bank your bank. SimmonsBank.com or check out a branch near you. One of the best banks in America located right here in Arkansas.
All right.
For a nation searching for a voice to guide it through this modern-day wilderness of popular culture, politics, business, and sports. In these troubled times, we turn to one man. That man is Bill Vickery. Born with rural American values, possessed with superhuman brain capacity, buttery smooth charm, razor-sharp wit, chiseled good looks. He's chosen to use his superpowers for the good of all mankind. So this Sunday, the nation turns to this man for answers and direction. To Bill Vickery and the Sunday Buzz.
I kissed her and she kissed me, like the fella once said.
We good? What?
That a kick in the head.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back, like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just a beginner, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Said, ain't that a
well, quite a show for you this morning. Out here at Sauced Bar and Oven, brunch is just kicking off every Sunday from 10 to noon. And it is, I can attest to this personally, Todd, it is outstanding. So
everything they do is outstanding.
Yes. It's a great time out here at the old Sauced Bar and Oven. We'll talk to Kevin Case, the owner, a little bit later, and professional sports handicapper. Big day yesterday for the Hogs, big day in Little Rock, Arkansas State, in, frankly, a game that would have had a lot more momentum 20 years ago. That sort of lost a lot of that steam, but still fun to see it played, at War Memorial, in spite of the fact that some whiny sports writer somehow couldn't get his car parked. I don't know who this Hutchinson guy is, and I don't know who is he with, because he does what I hate. He complained on Twitter as though something, that was going to affect something. Like he had a little bit of a fit as a sports writer, and you just shouldn't do that. It's always a bad look no matter who does it. But he was stuck in traffic on Fair Park, and can't get in. So he sends out a couple of tweets complaining about the traffic around traffic around Razorback Stadium Road in Fayetteville too. But I don't know, this kind of flew all over me, Todd.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I noticed the backlash that particular tweet received. So
yes, as deservedly so.
Yes,
deservedly so. These kids today, and I've earned the right to say that because I'm of a specific generation that didn't victimize itself. But these kids think if they have a little fit out in public, and of course they have to broadcast that fit. But it wasn't a good look for him. And I read his stuff. That's the other thing. Like, I read his stuff, and I think it's pretty good. And so when I saw his pop up about Twitter, like, this is ridiculous. I've been in traffic for an hour. Yeah, dude. People that left 45 minutes before the game kicked off, and they were there to sing the national anthem. Like, at some point, there's a great Stoic saying that it's not my fault, but it's my responsibility. And, that sort of applies in this case and everything else. So, but not a good look, and maybe he shouldn't apologize or I don't know, something like that. Boy. Oh, see, here we go. We got our man, Dr. Barry Ford. No doubt. Please have a seat over there, Doc. Glad to see you're up and at 'em this morning. No doubt came here to make sure that I was okay. I've got to have a physician in attendance at all times. That's part of my contract, Ryder Todd. Valentine had to secure a physician to monitor my health during a live appearance. So that's always important.
That makes sense. That checks out.
So he's here. He and Kevin will talk a little bit over there about the upcoming NFL schedule this afternoon. The kickoff for real, not down in Brazil or an hour rain delay in Philly. This is the first Sunday of the NFL season. Of course, this is becoming an annual tradition to come out here to Sauce to kick off the NFL season. It's a great spot to watch games. Brunch is outstanding. 10 to 2 brunch today. And this mug fills up big time, especially post-church, because you get a unique combination of saints and sinners all out here at Sauce. So you can tell the fine people who've gotten up and gone to church with their families, and then you can tell the people who, maybe just rolled out of bed and put a hat on.
We'll leave it to our listeners and viewers to decide which of those categories you belong to.
Far be it from me to cast dispersions on, because guess who's had a hat on out here many times? Well, the Duce of KABC. All the celebrities are rolling in now. Justin Acree here, no doubt off of a Saturday high as his Iowa State Cyclones got it done in the battle for the state of Iowa yesterday.
Yeah, they'll be in Jonesboro next Saturday.
And and they're coming in to play a rare non-conference home away game. Excuse me, as they'll be up in Jonesboro. Boy, yesterday first quarter, it was like the Razorbacks looked like ice at a Hyundai plant. I mean, that was a display, and frankly, it was something. And I had a conversation with a lot of folks, and then through the week, a couple of times on the air, I noted the fact that very clear that our offense was going to be good this year. And again, take nothing away from Arkansas State, because I thought it was a good day all the way around for everybody. That's a good football team. They're going to win a lot of games this year. And if you look at their schedule, it would not be surprising. That's a team frankly, that's a team that should go to a bowl. And so it's not, it's nothing necessarily disparaging to Arkansas State, but, it's a game the Razorbacks should have won in the fashion they did. Clearly some stuff to work on from a special team standpoint. That was the real letdown of the day. And a couple of 3 third downs on the defensive side that they should have gotten off the field on faster. But Sorey Jr. the third, Louis the 14th, with the big game at linebacker, and clearly he's, that's where they're funneling everybody he's the best player on the defense that played better yesterday. Still have some problems. The truth serum is coming Saturday in Oxford, but that's an Ole Miss team that went to Lexington that we'll get into it in the second hour. Boston Paul will be with us in the second hour to talk the NFL, a little bit about the day in college football. Boy, it's hot in Gainesville, isn't it? I mean, there is now, this is what it's become. There's now one SEC team a Saturday, where you can't wait for the call-in show on Monday because, now I'm not saying that Feinbaum on Monday it's going to be as bad as the Alabama meltdown, but it'll be interesting to see because it's gotten pretty hot for Billy Napier. And again, somehow, who knew that spitting on players would become the biggest thing to start the college and pro football season? Who thinks that's a good idea to begin with? And again, I go back to this culture of victimization and needing to have been disrespected and whatever these things are that have happened in these kids' minds. But they clearly put themselves in front of the team. And that was a situation that it allowed South Florida. I mean, you do it, it's 15 yards, it's a first down. They had them hemmed up. The game was going to be over. They could run the clock out. South Florida marches down. They win the game. Jalen Carter in Philly, clearly he's out. Dallas is able to run the ball. They have a much better offensive showing in the first half than they probably would have with him in the game. And these are all neck-up sort of mistakes that occur. And it's Todd, I want to say there's a level of selfishness that takes over, and it's not just emotion. This is not some scrum that's going on in the middle of the offensive and defensive line with two guys battling it out, and they've been pulling each other's face masks, and they're down in a pile, and it may or may not be a first down. It's not one of those situations. It all becomes this idea of somehow, somebody demanding the respect that they should be given and being disrespected, and how that cultural phenomenon is playing out on an athletic field. And it has an impact on teams, and you see players individually in Florida. My gosh, it was on display. I mean, they had a litany of penalties throughout that game that crushed them. And then South Florida made plays. So the heat really is turned up in Gainesville. We'll see what happens the next couple of weeks with Billy Napier. But I think they've got a quick hook with him this year. If two or three things start to slide, it would not shock me to see the season end and him not be the coach.
Yeah, and the schedule is brutal, too.
Yeah, we think we had a bad schedule. They play 10 more games, and they're the underdog in 8 of them for sure. And they play Mississippi State.
Which just beat Arizona State at home.
Yes. Which that was a great win in Starkville last night, and an impressive win. Came out strong. Arizona State climbs back into it, and then they come back and win it in the end with a brilliant play, well drawn up play. So, just all in all, a good day for the SEC yesterday. A fun day, and a fun day out at War Memorial Stadium. Hogs put up 29 first downs, 630 yards of total offense, 309 through the air, 321 on the ground, which I thought was impressive. It was interesting to watch Taylon Green on some called runs. Did appreciate some good offensive line play yesterday, too. The Red Wolves passed for $132, rushed for 153. And look, had a great kickoff return. Clear special teams mistake by the Hogs, but that is a good Arkansas State team. That is a team that I expect to go to a bowl. You should expect that in Jonesboro, and you should expect a good season this year. Now, tough frying pan into the fire with the Cyclones coming to town. That's a top 15, if not top 10 team in Iowa State that now has to be the clear choice to win the Big 12 with Kansas State now completely wiped out. The Army. You know what you don't see, Todd? You don't see kids from Army spit on people.
No.
You don't see the kids from the Naval Academy make mental mistakes or some sort of selfish play. You know what you don't see in one of the greatest rivalries on the planet, the Army-Navy game? You rarely, if ever, see an unsportsmanlike penalty there. So somehow, when people say, you get caught up in the emotion, these kids, and they're just kids, somehow some kids are able to play intensely at a high level in a national matchup with everything on the line from a pride standpoint, and they don't act out like that. So it was interesting to see Army, and they won. That was a convincing win by Army yesterday. So we'll talk about that probably in the second hour a little bit too with Boston Paul. Let's hit a break, Todd. We get back. I've got a list of what President Trump wants to rename the departments. We're no longer going to have a Department of Defense. We're going to have the Department of War. The DOW. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Bobby Kennedy's kid shows up on Capitol Hill and gets yelled at by a bunch of people who took millions of dollars of campaign contributions from drug companies. So there's that. And a lot more. Stay with us.
Aero Truck Sales has been in business in North America for 75 years. They are dedicated to helping truck drivers, owner-operators, and fleet managers find the high-quality used semi-trucks that they need to grow their business. Their on-site financing team provides flexible financing options and comprehensive warranty and protection plans. Plus, their attached shop provides convenient and efficient reconditioning. Visit Aero Truck Sales at 12101 Eanes Road, North Little Rock, or view their inventory at arrowtruck.com.
This is Victoria Lee with Lion Legal. We provide exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. For exceptional results in growing your business, then add Sabrina Woodall with 1037 The Buzz to your pride. Call Sabrina 501-650-4971. Lion Legal and The Buzz. There is no one better to protect and grow your pride.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. Our team of experts can become your outsourced IT department, solving problems even before you know about them. We provide and maintain everything from servers and network infrastructure to printers and digital copiers. As a family business with over 80 years of history in Little Rock, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. If you're ready to get your IT in order, visit captg.com and sign up for a free consultation.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Catch Quinn Grovey each Thursday this football season on The Zone. Get insight from one of Arkansas's best, brought to you by Conway Wealth Management. Conway Wealth Management, planning today for your tomorrow. Take control of your financial future and call or visit Conway Wealth Management today, 501-358-3994.
Or visit conwaywealthmanagement.com.
Securities and financial planning offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.
Old number 53 here, and back in my day, I was fortunate to be around some great teams, along with some great teammates. And even now, all these years later, I'm also grateful to be a part of a great team here at 1037 The Buzz. But you know another great team that I've come to appreciate over the years? It's the team over at Edwards Food Giant, and there are 11 stores located all over the metropolitan area, including their Edwards Cash Saver stores. And let me tell you this, if you haven't been to the newest Edwards Food Giant in North Little Rock in the Lakewood Village Shopping Center, you really need to stop by there. This store is truly the most beautiful grocery store that I've ever been inside of. The layout with their used selection and inventory, including their deli and salad bars, is the best. Of course, their meat department at Edwards will truly blow you away too. That newest Edwards store has everything from heat and eat, meal solutions, weekly specials, to a giant wine department, to their dry-aged beef that's been temperature and humidity controlled for 28 days in their cooler, resulting in a steak that's tender, flavorful, and unlike any steak you've ever had. So see for yourself why the team at Edwards Food Giant is now Central Arkansas's favorite place to shop.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz as Justin Acree and DJ Williams broadcast live from each meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain. Justin and DJ will broadcast live from the Doubletree downtown, bringing you interviews with each speaker and their comments to the club live. Monday, the Little Rock Touchdown Club welcomes Razorback legend Darren McFadden. That's The Zone live at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Spine and Pain.
More of the Sunday Buzz with Bill Vickery.
You are now free to turn up the volume as loud as you want.
.26 a.m. in the central time zone of these United States. Todd, am I coming through 5x5 back there to you?
You very clearly are, yes, sir.
Outstanding. President Trump, by the way, out here at Sauced Bar and Oven in West Little Rock, brunch 10 to 2 out here every NFL Sunday now. So the kickoff of the NFL Sunday means we come out here to Sauced and haggle with our buddy Kevin Case, who runs the joint, with a staff of persnickety women who can sometimes be counted on to provide good service. Just kidding. Everyone here does a wonderful job, and it's one of my favorite places on the planet. Everyone's great, but you got to get here early because the place does get packed on a Sunday, especially now that the NFL season is in full swing. And we'll talk a little bit about that in the later in the program with Boston Paul, and we'll get Kevin in here to make some predictions about today's action in the National Football League. President Trump announcing this week that he was renaming the Department of Defense back to the original name, which was it was the Department of War. And I always want to scream, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. That's Todd, you got to do the song and then the Elaine routine from that. Anyway, there have emerged from inside the White House. A leak in the White House Communications Department has announced, or has this was in today's Washington Post, and I don't know if this can be believed or not, but there are a series of other name changes to different agencies around the Trump administration. The Social Security Administration is being rechristened as the Bernard Madoff Memorial Retirement Plan. The Department of Justice is being renamed to a far more descriptive moniker, which would be the Department of Revenge on All the Losers and Haters. Let's see, skipping around, the Department of the Treasury will now be called the Chinese Loan Office. The Bureau of Indian Affairs is being renamed. Well, you know this was coming, right, Todd? Because he's demanded the name be changed back. So the Bureau of Indian Affairs will now become the Department of the Washington Redskins. Let's see, getting on here. No name for the Department of Education because it won't exist. And finally, the Food and Drug Administration will be renamed simply McDonald's. So there you know. I mean, I appreciate the president questioning the norms. Why do we need NATO? We're no longer fighting the Cold War. It's an honest question to ask. Transitioning a little bit, Todd, into what we saw on Capitol Hill play out this week with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It's interesting. First of all, I feel for Kennedy because he has a disease, that affects his speech, his ability to speak, and so it's intensely labored. And so when you get into those, and make no mistake about it, one of the few places on the planet Earth where nothing is as it seems to be, is a hearing on Capitol Hill. So I think it was Roger Kimball has a brilliant piece today. What did he write this in? I can't remember. Is it American Government? Anyway, Kimball's a great writer. If you get a chance just to read some of Roger Kimball's stuff, just Google him. He's extraordinarily insightful, a D.C. veteran, been there a long time, but he has a great sort of properly sarcastic look at the happenings of the federal government. Anyway, he talks about the fact that it was, who was it that he gets into this, that the issue is never the issue, because what is always the issue is power. And so the issue is never the issue, but what always is the issue is power, and that's not wrong. So he talked about Kennedy, and he's got a great piece here where he talks about Kennedy as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He was essentially going to appear before this specific Senate committee to talk about the COVID issue, the COVID vaccine, what had happened in the past relative to the COVID issue. And then, of course, it turned into several Democrats who've all taken millions of dollars, including our most famous Indian-American woman from Massachusetts, and a number of other lefty Dems who have literally taken millions of dollars from the big pharma companies, yelling and screaming, and then a couple of Republicans too, yelling and screaming about vaccines and him not believing in a vaccine or whatever it might be. And look, I don't know where to come down on the issue of this particular vaccine being helpful. I know I listened to my buddy Barry Ford, okay, and I'll listen to my buddy Hayden Franks. Those are people that I trust. They're doctors. They've been around. They're my dear friends. They're very common sense, goal-oriented physicians, and so I'll sort of pay attention to what they think. But it is an issue that at least we should think about why we are the sickest country on the planet Earth, that why 8 in 10 Americans would not pass a physical, 8 in 10 young Americans would not pass the physical requirements to serve in the United States Armed Services now. Why is that? Why have cases of autism exploded? Why is our country the way that it is compared to the way that it was, say, 50 years ago? I think these are all healthy questions, no pun intended, that somebody like the Health and Human Services Secretary should ask. I don't have the answers, but I think they should at least be studied. And so Kimball captures what happened during this hearing, and listen, it degenerated very quickly into a shouting match. And of course, Kennedy, it's painful to watch him talk because he does have this particular issue with this disease in his throat and his ability to talk. And so you've got Pocahontas screaming at him. And by the way, did you see the video of the woman was it in Florida? It was in Miami? It was in Philly, yeah. And she had the Phillies jersey on. She took the foul ball away from the little kid. That was Elizabeth Warren. Was that not Elizabeth Warren? Watch that video on X or YouTube about the Philly fan who forces the dad, who, by the way, talk about a beta male.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was was he a Broadway dancer?
It was a Phillies game, but it was in Miami.
It was in Miami. Right. It's the Marlins. That's because the Marlins did but they were setting in a section of Philly fans because they all had.
Right.
And this Karen just, makes a big scene and rips the foul ball away out of this kid's glove, and he's heartbroken, and the dad sort of cowers away from this Karen, and I thought, what is this guy doing? What is he, is he in the dance company for cats, or who is this guy as a father? And so anyway, then I find out it's U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren. Of course it's not, but the woman looks exactly like her, and of course I've had 100 memes to replace the Arch Manning memes that I got last week. Now they're all of Elizabeth Warren. And so anyway, the point being in all of this is that it's sometimes difficult to watch Kennedy. He's defending himself. He's being screamed at by these senators. They're going back and forth. And I thought, it was interesting that Kimball wrote today, and I'll just read some from his column. Ostensibly, Secretary Kennedy came to Capitol Hill to answer questions about COVID and the performance of people at, or rather recently at, the Centers for Disease Control. He recently fired the freshly confirmed director, Susan Morans, for being, quote, untrustworthy, and about 1,000 staffers walked out in solidarity. Huge hit to the department, no doubt about it. And, of course, yelled and screamed, and they demanded he be fired and all that. One friendly questioner asked Kennedy whether the response to COVID had been politicized. Indeed, it had, Kennedy said. Moreover, the government and the media lied to the public about many aspects of the disease, beginning with its origin. You remember that? Oh, it couldn't have been the way Trump described it because it had to come from a bat who was eaten by this and that, of which we all know now was a lie. And to a large degree, well, I'll just continue reading from Kimball because I think he makes a great point here. The public was also aggressively lied to about the dangers of the virus. Overwhelmingly, the vulnerable parts of the population were the elderly, the obese, and the diabetic, which that kind of covers a lot of Buzz listeners out there too, I think, Todd. I mean, if we threw out the elderly, the obese, and the diabetic, there is nobody listening to the Sunday Buzz.
I detect no lies.
There's the host of the Sunday Buzz probably can't even would have to. That again, the vulnerable parts of the population were the elderly, the obese, and the diabetic. We were lied to about the efficacy of, quote, social distancing. Turns out it was all made up, which, of course, we know now that it was all made up. And, of course, it was the issues surrounding cloth masks. They are worse than useless. And so Kimball goes on to talk about seeing people with these masks, and I see it now, too. And it's because the mask, again, I go back to this because it was such a great fraud that was perpetrated on the American public. Doctors don't go into operating rooms gloved up in a sterile environment with a mask over their face thinking, oh, this gunshot victim might give me lead poisoning, so therefore I've got to protect myself. No. They go into these places to protect the patient from themselves, to not pass something on. So every time I see one of these poor souls checking me in on an airplane or wherever they might be with their mask on, I just think the damage that has been done to the public by the lies that were perpetrated purposefully by Fauci et al., that it really has impacted the country in a way that we are still a decade away from understanding. Because Kimball likens it to watching somebody walk around with a seatbelt on while they're walking. But anyway, he goes on to talk about, Kennedy goes back and forth over, the amount of vaccines that we give, the drugs that are associated with it, all of that. And to me, it was just rich because every senator that was doing the questioning had over the course of their political careers, had $1 million plus donated to their campaigns from the pharmaceutical industry. Now, the pharmaceutical industry is not bad, and that's what they're supposed to do. But when you have sort of these stoolies bought and paid for, then it's not an honest debate. So I guess that's what I want to see. I want to see a public, honest debate about some of the things that we do that pass as, quote, health care in America. Because I want to know why cases of autism have exploded. I want to know why we're all a bunch of badasses who, eat too much of all the bad stuff and then want to take a pill to have it all go away. And, of course, the demand that creates for the pill. I want to know why these... I got to see this fat woman dancing around about Wegovy or whatever it is, that I know the song I know that Jardiance jingle in my head. Anyway, that's what the hearing, as I said, degenerated down into a bunch of name-calling and yelling. And it's unfortunate because it is a major issue that impacts the country in such a big way. And we had an opportunity to handle COVID properly. We bungled that. it was done for political reasons, and the people who were responsible for it got a preemptive presidential pardon so that we can't necessarily go back after them, but I'm hopeful that we'll find some mechanism to get those people to have to out themselves at some point in time. In the meantime, I don't think it's unhealthy in a democracy to have a conversation about why we are so unhealthy in this country. Maybe some of it is just looking in the mirror, and maybe that's some of it, and taking some personal responsibility. So it was an opportunity for there to be robust back and forth to lead to greater debate out in the public about what makes us healthy. And shocker of shockers, a hearing in the United States Senate became politicized, and then it just became theater, and then, of course, covered by the national media in a way you don't need a here's the thing. You don't need a UFC fight on the White House lawn, Todd. They have meaner fights on Capitol Hill and inside the White House than what we see in any kind of at least honest, squared-off, fight-by-real rules situations in the UFC. Let's take a break, Todd. We get back, we'll talk a little bit more about the week that was in Washington. We'll look ahead to the start of the NFL season. And we may have a couple of surprise interviews here. Folks piling in out here at Sauced Bar and Oven in West Little Rock. An extraordinary brunch, 10 to 2 today and every Sunday. The mimosas are flowing out here. I'm looking at here I am talking about obesity, Todd. And if you could see the plate of food that James Valentine has in front of him.
I can only imagine.
You don't understand. That's got to be 4,000 calories. But it looks, don't get me wrong, man, it looks awesome. Biscuits and gravy with the bacon, those eggs. That too. Never mind. Forget I asked the questions about health care in America. I'm looking straight at the problem right now. Stay with us.
Car wreck? Call Rainwater Holt in Sexton.
888-8888.
8 for a fast response. 8 for results. 8 for Arkansas.
Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep. I saw an ad the other day, and I thought, no wonder people don't trust car dealers. I looked up the discount they were offering that was $20,000 off, only to find out they put a $12,000 to $15,000 lift kit on this truck, marked it up $38,000, and then said they're taking $20,000 off. Make that make sense in somebody's head. Folks, come check us out. RedRiverRam.com. See why we're Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer, or make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. But wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Bud Light Little Blue Book is back on Drive Time Sports. Each Thursday at 4, Randy will open the Bud Light Little Blue Book, giving you a chance to call in and give your predictions like a pro. You can also submit your predictions on live fan feedback and the Buzz text line. Just give Randy the correct final score for the upcoming Razorback football game and the tiebreaker, and you win money, courtesy of Bud Light. It's the Bud Light Little Blue Book only on Thursday nights on 103.7 The Buzz. For a full list of rules, visit 1037thebuzz.com.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Noir golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer. Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Crane Automotive presents the Red Zone with Randy Rainwater. This fall, Randy will broadcast live from a different high school each week with a preview of that night's game. Get in the Red Zone with the Crane Automotive team in Drive Time Sports on 103.7 The Buzz.
Now, more of the Sunday Buzz with Bill Vickery.
It's existential, yet it's so accessible.
Just a little back and forth here on the text chain. And a pretty smart guy made a point about my last sort of rant there, was that I was conflating public health, which is a political construct, with the actual practice of medicine, which is what Barry and Hayden do. And then we get into a couple of funny one-offs there. And it's not wrong. I mean, and that's an important distinction to be made. The difference in public health policy is very different than the actual practice of medicine. But the two do align in certain circumstances, and that plays out on our national stage. But then there's a funny joke that I'm not going to get into on the air. And then, of course, since we are, and we're going to talk about this in the next hour, and I do have James Ballantyne with me, and we do have the Duce, the czar of KABZ Radio, Justin Acree here, that since we're going to the Grove, we have to remember, as a good friend of mine texted me, that it wasn't, James, how many years ago was it? 6 years ago? 6 years ago, the Buzz 9/11 occurred, where 4 or 5 cases of beer were poured on the ground as a result of the Buzz not adhering to the proper Grove rules, and grown men wept. And there was an attempt to cart off a Buzz executive to the local county pokey there in Oxford, and that was. As Bernard P. Fife would say, a big melange was made of the whole thing. So we'll see if things will go. Are we anticipating a buzz event there, James? No more. That was it, huh? Sort of one and done, a one and done situation there with the disaster that occurred, the Buzz Pearl Harbor that occurred there over in Oxford. We'll have to get. See, that's why you got to call stats in advance on stuff like that. You got to have your guy on the inside. Who knows what he's doing, I've kind of run over here, but I did want to talk a little bit about the Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, who the president is attempting to fire. And it struck me this week, as unemployment numbers came out and there's a push for the Fed. And listen, kids, you just got to bear with me on this. We got to have our vegetables. Because dessert's coming up where we're going to talk about nothing but college and pro football and brunch here at Sauce Bar and Oven. But there's a couple of issues that pop to mind here very quickly that I see people on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg, and then we get into this, it's a Fed government. There's got to be an independence of the Fed. The Fed has to be independent. This is an attack on the independence of the Fed. And it's struck me that there is a great deal of effort being made to somehow prop these Fed board governors up to a sort of Supreme Court justice status. Well, you can. And, you can make a mistake and put a nut job on the Federal Reserve Board. You can make a mistake and put a nut job on the U.S. Supreme Court. There's no distinction that allows you to say, well, you don't get the chance to go rob a liquor store and then go, well, I'm a Federal Reserve Governor. I'm on the Federal Reserve Board. Independence. I mean, either you committed mortgage fraud or you didn't. That's a paper crime. And the paper says that she claimed 2 different states as her primary residence within 2 weeks of one another and signed both of them under the penalty of perjury. So the crime seems pretty cut and dried. Or it's described as a paperwork. Oh, it's a paperwork error. Well, okay. But when have we seen the government go after someone who you're making a case over some paperwork distinctions and how things were filled out properly? I can't imagine that the state of New York would waste any of their judicial resources on something like that. It turns out, yeah, they did. So I don't believe that the president has cause to fire Ms. Cook. I don't believe that he does. I believe that she has to be investigated by the Department of Justice, indicted by a grand jury, brought to trial, and then convicted at that trial. It's at that point that he has cause to say she should be removed from the Federal Reserve Board. So until that happens, I don't think the president can do what he's doing. But as soon as that happens, and it would seem like this is a very cut and dried case, and I'm not sure how many of us out there get to fill out mortgage applications where we can claim more than one residence as our primary residence in a number of states. So, and this notion that somehow the Federal Reserve Board has such independence that they don't act politically. Well, of course they act politically. They do so all the time. These people factor in politics into their judgment. Do you think that these federal justices who are sitting on the bench today, issuing rulings, knowing full well that they're going to be overturned when they get to a higher court, they're doing so because they have political motivations surrounding them? Now, I don't mean that they want to run for office. I mean that they want to see the country move in a certain direction, and they are using the power to move the country in that direction. And it's not right. It's way overstepping judicial authority, but it's happening before our very eyes. So, on the one hand, I don't believe that the president has cause at this moment. On the other hand, this is a paper crime, and it seems very cut and dried. Either you signed the documents you did. Did somebody forge your signature on these documents? These are all things that will play out, I feel certain. But at some point, someone, and this is where the chairman should step forward and say, look, we have to acknowledge that the Federal Reserve should act in a certain way, and we've done our own internal investigation. And so as a result of what we believe is coming, that we've agreed upon the fact that Ms. Cook should step down. That's probably how it should be handled. But everything's dug in. There's a prominent Democrat lawyer that's now defending Ms. Cook as she's suing to keep from being done. Everything's going to the courts. This notion somehow that the independence of the Federal Reserve is sacrosanct and must got to be. They have a dual mandate. It's to keep unemployment low and keep rates low. Keep inflation as low as possible and keep employment as high as possible. Now, that's a very, very difficult thing to try to structure and organize. But at the end of the day, that's what they're supposed to do. And the fact that they may have a political agenda when they get put on the Federal Reserve Board should be taken into account. The fact that we acknowledge if a federal judge makes a ruling, we always acknowledge now what president appointed them to the bench. So this idea somehow that the Federal Reserve as an entity has to be a standalone, outside of criticism, independent agency that never involves itself in politics, well, that's just that's not reality. They're political animals by their very nature, or they wouldn't achieve the appointments to the Federal Reserve Board. That's the point. Federal appeals court justices, federal judges, they're political animals, or they wouldn't receive those appointments initially. You can't go find a Federal Reserve governor and that's someone that's, well, you know what, I've never had a checking account. I've just stayed out of it altogether. I've never made a campaign contribution. I just put my money in a mattress. Great, you're qualified to work at the Federal Reserve. No. Of course they're political animals. That's how they get the appointments. So we're naive to think that politics doesn't play a role in all of these things. Okay. Enough of the vegetables. Now it's on to dessert. We'll talk to Boston Paul. We'll hear from Kevin Case, the owner out here at Sauce Bar and Oven, and we'll make some predictions about the National Football League. Stay with us.
But sometimes you still struggle to put food on the table. 1 in 5 Arkansans faces food insecurity. If that's you, you don't have to face hunger alone. Food pantries across Arkansas are open, welcoming, and ready to help. No judgment, just support. Find a pantry near you today at foodbanksofarkansas.org, because everyone deserves access to food. Brought to you by the Food Banks of Arkansas with funding from Summit Utilities.
At ABC Supply, when you've got a job to do, we do too. When your success depends on getting the details right, we're there for you every step of the way. Delivering more than materials, delivering passion, commitment, and the confidence to help you get the job done easier. Our teams understand the obstacles you face in building your business and reputation, because living up to our promises is how we help you live up to yours.
For location and product information, call ABC Supply in North Little Rock at 501-955-0777 or visit abcsupply.com.
Radio for Arkansas Sports Geeks by Arkansas Sports Geeks. All day, every day. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Hi, I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. Football season in Arkansas is one of my favorite times of the year. And I think we can all agree that game days are better with tailgating. Fourth quarters are better with game-winning field goals. And the best played games are better with teamwork. And just like on the field, Bell Chevrolet is better because of our people and their dedication to our customers. Shop Bell Chevrolet and BellChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
Hey, it's Chuck the Promo Guy. Join me every Tuesday morning for Check-In with Chuck, brought to you by Hubbard Power Sports Can-Am and Sea-Doo in Russellville, where you can get rates as low as 0.99% on Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides, and huge end-of-year savings with rebates up to $3,500 plus additional in-store discounts.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Morning Mayhem wants to know, is it fact or is it crap? Listen each week for your chance to play, presented by Arkansas Municipal Equipment and 270 Grill in Poen. Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Check them out at ametrucks.com.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Looking for a trailer repair? Need a new truck bed? HJ Trailer Sales has you covered. We're also your one-stop shop for Iron Bull, Good Guys, Hillsboro trailers, and yes, Hart trailers. We've even got them too. Family owned and operated, we're the most trusted trailer store in the state with tons of financing options to fit your budget. Come see why everyone rolls with HJ Trailer Sales. HJ Trailer Sales, built on trust, driven by quality. Visit hjtrailersales.com or stop by today.
Join the zone each Monday for Game Balls and Jockstraps, brought to you by 8 Caddies Touch Landscaping. Find out who made the best, average, and worst headlines in sports and entertainment each Monday as Justin and DJ give you their Game Balls and Jockstraps on the zone from 10 to 1. It's all brought to you by 8 Caddies Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Call today to get your landscape updated to a whole new level and be listening for Game Balls and Jockstraps only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, Our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff, Paul Killingsworth in Cabot, or Chris Allen in Stuttgart today.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
From Central Arkansas to South Arkansas to Northeast Arkansas, across the state to Northwest Arkansas, you will find a Beechwood hospitality property. From the Haywood in El Dorado to the Hilton Garden in Jonesboro to the Doubletree in Bentonville and the Staybridge Suites just south of Baumwalker Stadium, Beechwood Hospitality has a room for you. Beechwood Hospitality is the leader in hotel property management in the state. Make sure you find a Beechwood Hospitality hotel for your next overnight stay.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Here, football is a religion, and Saturdays are sacred. Players live for one moment. The seconds of a game-winning pass. Live on forever. Where football is more than just a game. It's a way of life. The nation's best conference. An American tradition for over 75 years.
I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not forget the price I paid for it.
To the 30, Lindsey's got 35-40, Lindsey's got 45-50, 45-40, run, Lindsey, 25-20, 50, 10, 5, Lindsey's got, Lindsey's got, Lindsey's got!
Here's to Bo Jackson, Jackson's on his way. Goodbye. 71 yards for Bo Jackson.
Jones looking. Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete! A touchdown! Oh, my! I can't believe it! 31 yards to DeGory Birmingham in the back of the end zone.
Billy Cannon watches it bounce. He takes it on his own 11. He comes back upfield to the 15, stumbles momentarily. He's at the 20, running hard at the 25, gets away from one man to 30, still runs at 25, 35, 25. He's on the 40, Billy Cannon raced some 89 yards for a touchdown.
Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Quite a day yesterday. that for people of a certain age, the Arkansas State game was something. I think if you're under 35, it probably lost. It's not as big an issue for you as maybe those folks that are 40 plus that remember a long time ago, 30 odd years ago, when there was a push for, there was a rivalry, a little bit of a rivalry, and the great athletic director and former head football coach Frank Broyles sort of had an edict to not play in-state opponents, and there was a time when that was understood. That time is gone, and yesterday was a fun day for everyone involved. War Memorial Stadium was rocking, and look, it's old, it's unique, it's got its own set of challenges. Anytime you hear something called a War Memorial Stadium, you know it was built in a certain era. That's guaranteed. So, but it was a great day at the stadium. It was a beautiful day. It eventually became a beautiful day. A lot of folks at the Buzz tailgate, and we're out here because it's the first. We're out at Sauce Bar and Oven because it's the first real Sunday of the NFL season, and so it's a full slate of action out here. They do a spectaculacious brunch from 10 to 2 every Sunday during the NFL season and pretty much during the NBA season and Major League Soccer and pretty much everything else. So you get a chance, you should come by, although it's packed in here now.
You draw them in, Bill.
I can tell you can tell the saints and the sinners. Again, you can tell who's gone to church, and you can tell who's James Ballantyne who just put a hat on and rolled out of bed. So, I want to talk a little bit about the game yesterday. Do we have is Boston Paul on? Have we made contact with
Yes,
Boston
I have
Paul?
him holding right here.
Okay, fantastic. Well, first of all, we got to come up with some theme music for Boston Paul. But Paul, welcome back to the program. Our old buddy Boston Paul Buckley. How are you, my friend?
We're doing really well, Bill. Thank you for asking. And I'll say this. I judge a restaurant by how good their Sunday brunch is. So sounds like you're in a winner there. You got a good place to do the show from.
It is. I'll say this. They have their brunch out here is fantastic. And then, of course, easy to see the football on tap. All the games on, so that adds to it, Paul. That makes it our kind of place. Let's put it this way: you and I would have a good time here, Paul. When you're in,
good food, good mood, right?
That's exactly right. Good food, good mood. I want to talk a little bit about the game. You're coming down for the Notre Dame game, so I'll see you at the end of the month. But Taylon Green, the Razorback offense, I noted in the first hour that Arkansas treated Arkansas State like ice at a Hyundai plant. It was a one-sided affair, in spite of a kind of a great run on a kickoff return and a couple of bungled assignments, but really just a great run by the Arkansas State returner. But it really was it was a one-sided affair throughout most of the day yesterday. But now, Paul, it's on to the truth machine, that are the Ole Miss Rebels and Oxford, and next Saturday evening in one of the great football venues on the planet Earth.
I hope your folks down there are excited about this team, because as an outsider, I am. When you have a kid like Taylon Green who can do what he can do, that run for the third touchdown of the game, the quarterback keeper, boy, I mean, he had another gear. Yeah. He made a nice move. I really, really like this kid. And, you alluded to this last week. Great offense. We're going to see about the defense. I think the whole season will ride on Travis Williams, your defensive coordinator.
Yeah, agreed. He's got to come up. I mean, I worry. I watched Ole Miss against Kentucky, and that was a really good game on the road. It just shows, as you and I have talked, you play in the SEC, you go on the road in the SEC, I don't care who it is, you're going to take typically a shot in the chops And so that was a good football game. But Ole Miss they ran the ball well, and then, of course, I mean, you don't have Jackson Dart, and we're realizing now, Paul, up in your neck of the woods with the Giants, how good a quarterback Jackson Dart is, but was in college. We got to use the offense to maybe protect some of the deficiencies of our defense. We got to chew up some clock. We're going to have to keep them off the field as much as we possibly can. But you're right. It all boils down to how good a game the defensive coordinator can call.
The thing I obviously like, the thing I like right now about Arkansas is on offense, you guys are using many players, right? That's always been kind of the knock against Arkansas, that your skill position talent was limited to one or two guys.
Yeah.
Traylon Burke was one of my favorite college players that year.
Yep.
But it feels like Petrino has got enough talent where he can spread the ball around, green, arm, and leg. So, there is certainly the possibility your offense can cover up some sins of that defense.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out for that game yesterday, Ole Miss Kentucky, that Kentucky quarterback really, really struggled. I think you guys would have beaten the Ole Miss that showed up yesterday, compared to how that Kentucky quarterback struggled so badly.
That's an excellent point. You are correct, and that is one of the issues with Kentucky moving forward for the rest of the season, and one of the knocks on them and why they were picked so low is that they didn't have a catalyst on offense. It will be I think it will be an interesting game for both teams, that we'll see. Maybe, what does Ole Miss look like on the defensive side of the ball? Well, what does Arkansas look like on the defensive side of the ball? It could turn into a low 50s shootout, because I tend to think that Lane is one of the best play callers, if not the best. But I'll put Bobby Petrino right there close to him. I'll say this. The offensive play calling next Saturday will be at an elite level for college football. Now, whether the execution can match up to it, and whether the defenses are prepared, or whatever that might look like, I do go back to the schemes and the rhythm with which the plays are called. It's going to be an elite offensive performance on both sides next week, I believe.
I haven't looked at any of the odds or Vegas stuff for next week yet, but I gotta think this game, Arkansas Ole Miss over/under has got to be at least 75.
Oh yeah, I would think it's a high number. Hang on, can you look that up for us? The OU number for next Saturday, Ole Miss Arkansas, what the big number looks like. Okay, so it's interesting down here, too. One of the points I wanted to make, and I'm noticing this, on our from a special team standpoint, Arkansas, I think, has a very good field goal kicker. He booted a 53-yard field goal in the first game of the season. Didn't kick any field goals. Does it show me that's the spread? Oh, they don't have it over/under number just yet. It's Ole Miss -2.5, but no. But so we've got a good field goal kicker. Oddly enough, though, we do this thing that I see happening more in college sports now, Paul. We have a different person kick off than kicks field goals. And in Arkansas's case, we've got two different people kicking off. And I don't understand the rationale behind that, simply because the field goal kicker has a big enough and accurate enough leg to easily get the job done, but it's as though we've auditioned two different guys for the kickoff role, and we saw yesterday and this is where teams like Arkansas that are trying to break out, and the special teams always comes back to bite you. Why do we see that, Paul? You've got we had three people. We had three different kickers, not a kicker and a punter. There was at one time Arkansas had an All-American in Steve Little, and he was it. He kicked extra points, he kicked field goals, he kicked off, and he punted. Have we become that specialized with kicking the football at a 19 and 20-year-old level?
I wonder if we have, Bill, because the path to getting a spot on a college roster, particularly now under the new rules, where you won't have some young kid coming out of high school walking on and as a kicker and finding his role, that perhaps we're seeing these parents and 17, 18-year-old kids saying, okay, the only way we're going to get on the roster is if we're really good at one thing.
Yeah.
And, you make money kicking field goals. You don't make money kicking off.
Yeah.
And you'll be the likelihood of you pulling, whatever, a groin, a hamstring, is much greater kicking off than kicking a field goal. That could also be part of it. I want my kid to make the team. I want him to maybe be a seventh-round draft choice or a highly rated, drafted free agent. So I'm going to just have him kick footballs right through the uprights. The heck with everything else.
That's a great point, and you are right. I hadn't factored in the injury or the risk side of things. Plus, unless something's going horribly wrong, you kick your field goal and then you run off the field. You kick off, you still got to make a tackle. You still got to, and we saw yesterday a great return by the Arkansas State kid. And that guy he was the Gary Coleman on the field. Like, he couldn't have been 5'5", 5'6", but I promise you, he had to run, a 4.1 40 or some kind of Dion level quickness and speed. But that's a great point. Okay, so to recap yesterday, I think we both like Taylon Green's effort. Sneaky good effort, I think, by the offensive line, and a couple of three good athletic plays, and clearly moving the offensive line down the field to block. So I feel like there's a sense that they like where this offensive line is. Multiple receivers and tight ends used throughout the day. Good. So we like the offensive side of things. I think you and I both still have a couple of question marks on the defensive side of the ball. And then, special teams bungle on the kickoff is unforgivable. Overall, how would you grade yesterday's Arkansas performance? B+, A-? Where do you think? And be objective on it.
I'm going to go B+. First of all, that atmosphere seems outstanding. You guys must have a sold-out stadium, 54,000 or something.
Yeah.
That atmosphere just felt electric from 800 miles away. But I look at that kid, Sorey. Is that how you pronounce his name? Sorey.
Yes, Sorey Jr. the third.
I read. Yeah, I read he graded out as the worst Arkansas defender in the opening game by Pro Football Focus, yet had what seemed to be the game of his life yesterday, double-digit tackles, an interception when it really mattered, as a matter of fact. So, sparks of hope on the defensive side, but still jury is out. So I'm going to go B+.
I like you. You're spot on. You and I haven't talked about that, but I gave him a B+ too. It's just a couple of things there that you have to look to say, okay, and then you factor in a little bit of depreciation because you still have yet to play. Like I said, it all comes out next Saturday with an Ole Miss team. Like I said, the jury comes in. The verdict is in next Saturday as all the good stuff will be brought to the fore, and then anything bad will be exposed by a really, really good Ole Miss team, and what I think will be an offensive slugfest from a very reliable source. Over under at 61 now. Paul, if that's the case, I think you and I may get all. I mean, take your mortgage payment.
Oh, I'm
just
going.
Go ahead and
that's going to be my bet of the week.
If it stays there,
Another thing, before we walk away from this week's game, I like to look at numbers, and we know it's early, and everybody schedules, patsies to kind of get their act together before hitting their conference schedule. But I looked at the SEC this morning. You guys beat, a somewhat second-tier opponent by 42 points. A lot of SEC teams played second-tier opponents. LSU won by 16, Georgia by 22, South Carolina 28, A&M 22. So you guys, everybody played second-tier opponents, but you guys put the pedal to the metal. These other teams, not so much. I think there's another reason to be encouraged.
Yeah. I meant to bring that up as I was looking through the SEC scores, and I want to touch on that a little bit when we get back. But that's an excellent point, Paul. Again, that's why we have you on, Boston, Paul. Got to hit a break. Todd, let's go to break real quick. When we get back, we'll do a short segment to look through the day in college football yesterday, and then on to today's action in the National Football League. Stay with us.
Right up on the ball, 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Pistol formation with Washington in the backfield. They toss it to him left side, big hole across midfield. 1st down and more inside the 40, outside the numbers at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington, 53 yards, and just like that, the Hogs are on the board. Pistol formation, Russell's in the backfield. Braylon. Green, though, going to keep it on the option. Right side, he's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it. Green to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 64 yards on the option. Third down and 2 from the A-State 7. Russell's the tailback. Green gives it to Braylon. He's got the 1st down. Trucks a man at the 3. Fights for the goal line. At the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. Braylon Russell ran over a tackler at the 3-yard line and fought his way across the goal line. Good Lord. Arkansas jumped out on him early, and despite more than a couple of post stubs, the Razorbacks have walked out of here with a convincing 56-14 victory. Sam Pittman, Butch Jones make their way to midfield. An historic day in the capital city. The first ever meeting between the Razorbacks and Arkansas State, and perhaps the final time the Razorbacks play at War Memorial Stadium.
Hey Arkansas, it's Terry Harrison at the Big Lot, where you'll find the biggest selection, the biggest savings, and now you'll find Big Steve Landers.
That's right, Arkansas. I'm back in the car business at the Big Lot. Don't be confused. The real Steve Landers deals are at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram.
Come see me and Big Steve at the Big Lot, Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alco Road in Benton.
The Big Lot Benton.
MNB is proud to be serving Central Arkansas. No matter where you are in life, it's nice to know you have a partner when it comes to banking. Whether it's buying that first home, growing your business, or planning for retirement, we understand that everyone's challenges are different. At MNB, we can guarantee a great personal banking experience. Let us work to help you with your next life moment. Stop into one of our many locations and let us show you what community banking is really like. Visit us online at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention Arkansas homeowners. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for 50 homeowners to participate in our Rake in the Fall savings event. The first 50 homeowners who call will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. In as little as one day, we'll take your old bathtub down to the studs and complete the installation of your brand new custom designed walk-in shower. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now for a free $25 restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. That's right, the first 50 homeowners to call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH receive these special savings. Bath Makeover of Arkansas proudly serves the full state of Arkansas, offering custom bathing solutions such as bathtubs, showers, and walk-in bathtubs. In addition to a lifetime product warranty and 5-year workmanship warranty, Bath Makeover of Arkansas offers a price lock guarantee, meaning once you receive a free design consultation, your price is locked in no matter what. The first 50 homeowners who call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 75% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 18 months, no interest, no payments, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 Amazon gift card with purchase, and call 1-800-NEW-BATH now to receive a $25 restaurant.com gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. Our team of experts can become your outsourced IT department, solving problems even before you know about them. We provide and maintain everything from servers and network infrastructure to printers and digital copiers. As a family business with over 80 years of history in Little Rock, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. If you're ready to get your IT in order, visit captg.com and sign up for a free consultation.
The board-certified, fellowship-trained physicians at Martin Orthopedics provide complete care for students, adults, and athletes. At Martin Orthopedics, the surgeons and staff pay exceptional attention to every patient's needs. When you go to Martin Orthopedics, every member of the team aims to help patients return to their normal daily activities or playing the sport they love without pain. Whether it's your knee, hip, or shoulder, the physicians at Martin Orthopedics stand ready to assist. For more information or to set up your consultation online, go to martinortho.care.
Thank you for joining the Sunday Buzz. Here's your host, Bill Vickery.
Unbelievable.
Okay, back at So and or So.
Boy,
back
way to go!
Back at Sauced, brunch 10 to 2 every Sunday out here. The place is packed. I want to thank our buddy Kevin Case, who's the owner here, and one of my dear, closest, bestest friends in the world. One of the 6 men. I have 2 of the 6 men to carry me to my grave out here, Todd, Dr. Barry Ford.
Which is the most important.
And, well, he's your doctor, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's your doctor, too. And, of course, Kevin Case, who's a Buzz regular. And you've had great success with brunch out here, have you not?
Yeah.
I mean, and I joke, you can tell the saints and the sinners here at brunch on a Sunday. Boston Paul Buckley joins us as well. We've been talking to Boston Paul. Welcome back, Paul.
Thank you, Bill.
Who is in more hot water today, Billy Napier or Kalen DeBoer? I'll put it to you, Paul, first.
Well, it's funny. I had written down in my notes that Napier is definitely this week's DeBoer, but DeBoer is still in the most hot water. But I think poor Billy Napier. That's all I can say.
Is that not a case, though? That's a talented team. But you just had a bunch of inexcusable penalties. They had 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties. And then I don't know what's happened with spitting. How does this literally spitting has become the most impactful thing in an NFL game and in a college game, because that game's over. They're able to close out South Florida, Paul, and it just I don't know. Are we of a generation that just can't comprehend that? Like it just seems like the ultimate act of selfishness.
Absolutely. I mean, those earlier penalties on Florida, especially on that drive where they scored twice, but both times it got called back. I mean, those are sins that unfortunate, but they're made in the heat of the game. And in fact, the pass interference, that second one was baloney. But this level of selfishness. I really do think it grows out of these ridiculous celebrations that occur every time a play is made. Everybody calls attention to themselves, and it's silly.
It does have a feeling there. It's interesting. Again, I go back to Army, Navy, and there's a lot of intensity, and it's one of the greatest rivals in all of sports, but you don't get unsportsmanlike conduct penalties called in the Army-Navy game, and those kids are competing and literally playing for their future bosses who have been, have their careers at hand and for their country, and the intensity of the rivalry. When I watched Army beat Kansas State last night in a powerful showing in Manhattan, Kansas, and then immediately turn and formal handshakes as they walk out onto the field. It just shows what can be accomplished as a team, as opposed to your point of these sort of wildly idiotic calling attention to yourself, needing to build your brand, having your NIL wrapped up. All of those are the things that seem to. Anyway, it just seems we have seen the manifestation of that happen this week, and it hurt Philadelphia on Thursday night, and it clearly hurt the Gators yesterday. Real quickly before we go to break, Paul, give me your impressions of Mississippi State beating Arizona State in East Mississippi last night in an impressive win by the Bulldogs.
What a shock, though, really, in many ways. But boy, it doesn't it reinforce the fact that the Big 12 is just I don't know, a paper tiger or whatever. That conference, for their defending champion to lose to the 13th ranked team in the SEC preseason. Hats off to Mississippi State, but I think, unfortunately, the Big 12 is going to get exposed terribly again this year.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, you had Kansas State preseason Big 12 champion. They fall for the second time, and they fall to Army. And then you had Arizona State, last year's conference champion, and they fall to Mississippi State on the road. you're correct. You can have that conference. Well, Iowa State is the class of the conference so far. Let's hit a break. We get back. I got to clear the decks. We got to have plenty of time for Paul and Kevin and I to get into the day in the National Football League. Brunch out here at Sauced in West Little Rock. One table open? I can't. Well, when we move, Kevin, there'll be a table open.
Yep.
Kevin's giving me the mean mug, Paul, like you do realize you're taking up. I mean, there's people waiting for tables, and you're taking up a table, Bill. So I think the next time we do this, Paul, I'm going to be back on a little, like a bar top island way back in the corner. Let's take a break.
She must believe it's all hell in a cell. Hey, boy, better bring the chick around. To the sad, sad truth, the dirty low down.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. All of us who have played sports are familiar with choking. When the pressure is on, it can be difficult to perform up to our abilities. Tommy Fleetwood had 30 top 5 finishes on the PGA Tour with 0 wins. So when he finally won at the prestigious Tour Championship, everyone was happy for him. So for all of us who have failed, don't quit. Victory may be closer than you think. Stop by and register at your nearest Doublebee's for your chance to win a brand new Bad Boy 550 4-wheel drive side-by-side purchased from the Bad Boy Superstore in Searcy. This terrific Bad Boy 550 side-by-side will be given away on a special broadcast of Drive Time Sports October the 8th. Need not be present to win.
Hey, it's Greg O'Neill, looking forward again to a school year of reading stories to kids and getting me all over the state of Arkansas to schools everywhere. My GV80, Jenny from Genesis of Conway. And they've got a great story, a huge selection of pre-owned trade-ins, low mileage, terrific low prices, and top of the line. It's a story with a happy ending for you at Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
The 24th annual Paul and Mary Lewis two-person scramble golf tournament is coming up September 12th at the Rebsman Golf Course. Morning and afternoon flights are available. Register your team at the clubhouse at Rebsman Golf Course.
Lost in the legal jungle? Relax. You have a lion on your side. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. For exceptional communication and exceptional results, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue. Lion Legal, we bite back.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
For 55 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility supplies, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. Ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at sigmasupply.com. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg at 501-617-4600 and ask for the Buzz discount now because it's there. And remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply that is now part of Brady Plus, you've got low-grade product, man.
You work hard, but sometimes you still struggle to put food on the table. 1 in 5 Arkansans faces food insecurity. If that's you, you don't have to face hunger alone. Food pantries across Arkansas are open, welcoming, and ready to help. No judgment, just support. Find a pantry near you today at foodbanksofarkansas.org because everyone deserves access to food. Brought to you by the Food Banks of Arkansas with funding from Summit Utilities.
You're listening to the Sunday Buzz on 103.7 The Buzz.
It brings us together.
And now, here's Bill Vickery.
Okay, let's just jump right in and get right to it. Boston Paul Buckley joins us. I'm with Kevin Case out here in West Little Rock at his restaurant, Sauce Bar and Oven, which has brunch every Sunday, 10 to 2. And it is, as Paul, you and I talked, it's our kind of place because it's a great brunch. And then I've got the National Football League at my feet out here, and a big crowd of saints and sinners all showing up at the same place. Paul, give me your. I'm not looking for a Super Bowl winner, but give me a dark horse team that's going to be better than people think that it could be this year, and you can't say the Patriots.
Then if I can't say the Patriots, I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Okay.
I like the idea.
The Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence has talent, right? He just hasn't unleashed it. I like the new head coach. And if you look back, first-year NFL head coaches have done pretty good over the last few years. You look at Houston a couple of years ago with Raheem. So I like Jacksonville because they do have a good quarterback. They have a great head coach with an offensive mind. That's my dark horse.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you like the Jaguars. I do, too. I like them. I like that's a good pick. I think that the kid from Clemson is going to have a much better year. He started to emerge. He was injured a lot last year, so I like them. What do you think of Bill Belichick banning the 2 Patriot scouts from the North Carolina facility and saying, look, I'm not welcome in their building, they're not welcome in my building? Could that be any worse? That's almost a Jerry Jones level of drama.
I am Team Belichick, but my gosh, he's making it very hard to defend him. You can't call yourself the 33rd NFL team before you have any talent. But more importantly, you can't call yourself the 33rd NFL team and then not let NFL scouts come to your campus.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like he's making this unusually petty, but I love it because we get to see Jordan, what's her name? That's what I tune in North Carolina for that. I mean, it's become the Taylor Swift sort of situation. Okay. Let me ask you. I'll put it to you, Kevin Case, noted sports prognosticator and restaurateur, because you've got Sauced, and then the Butcher Shop, which listeners of the Buzz know the Butcher Shop inside and out. Steak Burger Friday still a thing, right?
Oh yeah,
we got that going.
We got Red Moon Tavern and Zen Wine Bar.
Red Moon Tavern, and that's out near Chenal.
Yeah, you got to have a visa to get there.
For me, that's way out there.
Passport, whatever you need.
But I know guys like Joe Klein. That's in Joe's neck of the woods out there.
Yeah, Chris Peterson.
Peterson. You see Peterson there a lot. Yeah. And then you've got Zen Wine Bar, which is just down.
A couple of doors down.
A couple of doors down. Okay. Who is your dark horse pick? Like when you look at the NFL this year.
Well, as you see, I'm wearing Saints gear. So
I know,
you're a
Saints.
I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos.
Okay,
that's my. I think they got a great chance this year.
Denver, I do like Denver too. I like Bo Nix.
Yep.
Shockingly, I can't believe that I'm saysaying that because when he played at Auburn, I thought this kid.
Didn't he play at Auburn for like 20-something years?
Yeah, he played at Auburn for 14 years, and 1 year, and it showed you how bad the coaching staff at Auburn was. That he left Auburn and got really good, and now he's
only guy with an ARP card.
Yeah. He was 72 years old when he graduated.
I think it's his year though. He's got some people behind him that looks really good.
And Sean Payton, like because you're a Saints loyalist from the early days,
right?
So you like Sean Payton. So okay. Well, Todd, let's do this. Let's jump right into it and start making some predictions in the National Football League. Okay, Paul, we will. Yeah, there we go. Maybe have to turn that music down a little bit because it's a raucous scene out here at Sauced. Paul, we'll start with you. Buccaneers, Falcons. Tampa Bay is a 1-point favorite, kicking off in 11 minutes in Hotlanta. Who do you like, Paul?
Tampa Bay, and I think they're going to have a good year.
Okay. I'll put it to you, Calvin Phineas Case.
I'm going to have to go with the Bucks, too.
Okay. Well, we all like Todd. Who do you like?
Give me Tampa as well.
Okay. So we're all in on the Buccaneers, my adopted team. Bengals, Browns, the battle of orange and black up by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cincinnati is a 4.5-point road favorite today. Boston Paul Buckley, I put it to you. Who do you like?
Cincinnati, double digits. They are going to make the playoffs.
There is a push by Cincinnati to want because they've started poorly. Since Burrow has been there, they've started poorly, and now that's we wanted to win some preseason games. They're making a concerted effort to get out of the chute a little hotter this year to not put themselves in a bind. So it's a good idea. Kevin Case, Sauce Bar and Oven, who do you like?
I'm going to go with the dog pound. I think they're going to start out hot, win a couple of games, and they're going to fall flat on their face like they always do. But I think the Browns get it done today.
You like Cleveland catching 4.5?
I do.
Todd, who do you like?
Give me Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase going to outclass Joe Flacco and whatever supporting cast he's got.
I like Cincinnati I like them to win today simply because I don't know that the Browns have their quarterback situation really squared away or their offensive situation squared away. Mammals, Colts in Indy. Indianapolis is a 1-point favorite over Miami. Why, Paul, can I ask you why Mike McDaniel went from being the darling of the NFL to somebody now that everybody wants to see him to be fired in Miami? What happened?
Well, he will be the first coach fired because they have a god-awful schedule to open the first 10 games.
Yeah.
You can be an offensive mastermind, but you got to be a good head coach. And I don't think he's a head coach.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, and what's basically a pick'em game, but the Indy -1, who do you like today?
I'll still take Miami, but it'll probably be their only win the next 5 games.
Kevin Case, Sauce Bar and Oven.
Too much unrest in Miami. I got to go with the Colts.
Colts. Todd, who do you like?
Give me Indy.
I'm going to take the Fish. They are a mammal, but I'm with Boston Paul. I think they win today. Raiders and your New England Patriots, Paul, playing in Foxborough. New England is a 2.5-point favorite to start the Mike Vrabel era. Do I have to ask who you like, Boston Paul?
No, you don't. It's raining up here. It's a terrible day up in the Boston area. But you have two teams that want to run the ball. But home field, Mike Vrabel, the Patriots are going to cover.
Okay, you like the Patriots to cover 2.5 today. Kevin Case, who do you like?
I'm going with Paul on this one. I like the Pats.
Todd, who do you like?
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh, you like the road dogs. I like it.
Pete Carroll and Geno Smith know one another.
I like the Patriots, though, at home today, and I've got to pick up the pace. Cardinals, Saints in the Dome. Paul, who do you like? Arizona is a 6.5-point favorite.
Who cares? But out of deference to Kevin, I'm going Saints.
Okay. You can't get a more New England answer than that, right? Who cares? But in deference to Kevin, I'm going with the Saints.
Cardinals win, but Saints cover.
Saints cover. Todd, who do you like?
Give me the Saints.
I'm going to pick the Cardinals, and I think they cover, and I hate to do it. No, sorry. Steelers, Jets, in what is the really marquee game of the day because of one man. Pittsburgh is a 3-point road favorite. Paul, who do you like?
Pittsburgh. I hate them both, but I'll go Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Kevin, who do you like?
I got to go with Pittsburgh. He's going back home to where he hurt himself last year. It's going to be a tough game, but he can do it.
Todd?
Give me Pittsburgh as well.
Yep, I like the Steelers. We all like a little, not revenge, but something there for Aaron Rodgers. Giants, Commanders in the nation's capital. Washington is a 6-point home favorite against the G-Men. Paul, who do you like?
I'll go Commanders.
Kevin Case, Sauce Bar and Oven, who do you like?
Washington.
Todd, back in the studio.
Give me the Commanders.
You're going to think I'm crazy.
Oh, no, don't say it.
You're going to think I'm crazy. No, I like the Commanders. You know I'm never going to pick the Giants ever. You know that I hate the Giants. With the heat of 1,000 suns, I hate the Giants. So, yes, we all love the Commanders today, plus the -6 at home. Panthers and your Jacksonville Jaguars, Boston Paul Buckley. Who do you like? Jacksonville is a 4.5-point favorite.
I think they'll cover. I'm good with that.
Yep. You like Jayville.
Yep, I'm going to go with Jacksonville, too.
You want Duval County? What about you, Todd?
Give me Cam Little and the Jags.
Yep, we all love Duval County today. Jacksonville +4 or -4.5, they easily cover. Titans and your Denver Broncos, Calvin Case. Denver is an 8.5-point home favorite today. Woo! Boston Paul, who do you like? Broncos, Calvin.
Rocky Mountain High. Denver gets it done.
I got to stop that, Kevin. Okay, Todd, who do you like?
Give me Denver.
I'm with Kevin on the Rocky Mountain High. They win and cover today. 49ers, Seahawks in the Great Northwest. Christian McCaffrey has a pulled Instagram and probably will not play for the 49ers. Boston Paul, who do you like?
Seattle, and I think we're going to see a regime change in San Francisco by the end of the year.
Woo! Kevin, who do you like?
Man, McCaffrey's back. He's going to play today, so I think I'm going to go with the Niners or all my windows are going to get broken out with all the Niner fans in here.
Yes, you got a ton of Niner fans here. Todd, who do you like today?
Give me Seattle.
Well, in solidarity with Big Darren, I'm going to pick the 49ers today. Because I'm going to have to sit next to him for the next hour long. So, Lions, Packers, NFC North showdown in Titletown. Pack a 1.5 favorite. Paul, very quickly, we have to pick things up. My bad.
Green Bay Packers, great game.
Detroit.
Oh, you like Detroit?
I do.
Todd?
Green Bay.
I'll take Detroit on the road, catching a 1.5. Texans, Rams in La La Land. The Rams are a 3-point favorite. Boston Paul, who do you like?
Rams.
Kevin?
Rams.
Todd?
Rams.
It's unanimous. We love the Rams. Ravens, Bills, Orchard Park. Baltimore is a 1-point road. Oh boy, 1 point. This is a game. This is the game of the day. Actually, it's tonight on NBC. Paul, who do you like?
Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl. They'll win today.
Woo! Kevin.
I got to go with Valentine's Bills.
Todd.
Give me Buffalo.
Ooh, we'll make it unanimous again. I love Buffalo, and I am with Boston Paul. In the AFC, the Bills will go to the Super Bowl, and I think probably win. Boston Paul, excellent job on the program today. Thank you very much.
Well, you're entirely welcome. We'll talk again soon.
Kevin, wonderful job out here, my amigo. This place is packed. It's a great brunch, 10 to 2 every Sunday. And then, of course, you got the games on Monday night, the Razorback games on Saturday. And then this is a great family spot. That's what I've noticed. You just get a ton of West Little Rock families out here coming in the early evenings for dinner.
Great.
I challenge you to have a bad time at Sauce Bar and Oven. It cannot be done. You come here and you leave happy.
Well, thank you for coming, Bill.
We appreciate you, my friend. So next week, boys and girls, look out for number 1. Don't step at number 2.
I'd spend all my money